Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, indeed. Are we facing right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some thank yous need to go to
We got some swag.
Jude, who sent us
Hey, Jude.
authentic Trump straws. Can you see that it says Trump on there?
Trump straws. need
One
to see
for
them.
each of us.
Oh, those are so cute.
You and me and Rob. Those come from Jude.
Trump straws.
And she wrote us a lovely letter. And then we got this very nice letter
Trump.
from Ashley West, who wrote us a card and sent us a huge box of potato chips of all different kinds of flavors.
We're
oh my God.
Split them in half. I mean, like every kind of flavor you can imagine.
Every flavor is represented.
Oh my God.
She and her husband own a distribution company out of that sells to grocery stores in North Seattle.
So
she
sweet.
sent us a giant box of chips. She knows that food is right
Oh my
the
God.
way
And
to
potato
our hearts.
chips. Potato chips
Oh
are
my
like
God.
some of my favorite. I love potato chips.
So
They go
nice.
fast in my house, so they will be eaten like this week. Probably.
That was so nice. Thank
Yeah.
you, Ashley. Thank you, Jude. It's so much fun to get fun mail.
Yes, it is.
So much fun.
We love getting treats. So Mock has to bitch and moan.
Because we're so tired of talking about the virus, and we will, I swear.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second, but she has to bitch and moan.
I'm not going to take a long time.
She's been bitching and moaning to me all morning about this company.
Oh
So
my
she has
God.
to unload on you guys so you don't ever buy from
Do
this
not.
company. It's kind of a buyer beware
Yeah.
thing.
And it's not like I wasn't careful. I don't want to buy anything from China because you know how I feel about China. And so I made sure that I was trying to buy my husband a Valentine's present, a neck massager thing that like uses heat and all kinds of crazy science. And so I spent almost $70, $69.95 on this Napelex product. And it has been the biggest nightmare of my life for the past 2 months dealing with Julia from Napelex.
Julia.
I had enough this morning, and I'm going to tell you the whole story. I'm going to write a big post about it at chicksontheright.com so you can see the email exchange because it's hilarious. But the way that it ended this morning was with me telling her that since they're not giving me a refund, unless I return the product to their German warehouse, even though it came from China, which it wasn't supposed to, I told her that I would be using every possible platform to tell everyone I could not to buy a Napelex neck massager. Worst product ever, worst company ever. Do not buy from them. You'll see why when I get
never
this
heard
posted.
of this. Never heard of this company ever. But now I know all about them. And apparently they're just a bunch of German buttholes.
Well, it says
Yeah.
on their FAQ, on their website, you guys, the very first question says, where do you ship from? And their answer is, we ship from Germany. Our warehouse in Berlin, Germany. So you know what they say when I don't get like a order confirmation or like the actual product on time?
Is that-
it's because it's shipping from China.
I totally lie. So that should be a tip off.
Yeah.
Right there. So
China.
So she's all pissed. So she doesn't get her stuff. So are you gonna tell the story or what?
Well, I'm going to tell the story in detail with all the emails
Okay.
on our website, later today.
So you're not gonna tell the story. Okay.
I'm not going to tell the story now because it'll take too much time.
She told me the story this morning, and it is quite the
And
story.
I didn't even give you all the details. Like when you see the
I
details,
mean-
when you see how dumb Julia is,
It is.
it's unbelievable, you guys. You will not, and the patience that I show, you will even be surprised.
Because it is.
I have tremendous patience in this exchange, like more patience than I usually have.
Yeah. Just don't buy from this company because they are.
Napelex, Napelex.
I think it's a
Do
giant
not buy from
scam.
them.
I think it's a giant scam they got going there. I think they're taking people's money and they're either not shipping product or they're shipping what they shipped to her, which was.
I mean, it looked all right. It just doesn't work.
It's a joke, you
It
guys.
just doesn't work.
They've got a scam going there.
It's bad.
Total
Don't
scam.
buy Napelex.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right. So I'll give you the story on that later.
Can we talk about Pelosi's daughter real quick?
Yes. Oh my God. Did you guys see what she did?
Pelosi's daughter is a hag.
The biggest.
And I'm allowed to say that
Oh yeah, you're allowed to say that.
because she's awful.
She's the worst.
These people, okay, so we know what's going on with everything that's, happening in Congress right now with them the liberals are basically trying to make this a liberal wish list, like the whole. It's a bailout, right? Basically, right? Can we call it a bailout? What they're doing?
What the Democrats are trying to do?
Well, just what they're all trying to do with the money, with the coronavirus.
Yeah. Well, it's stimulus.
Okay, it's stimulus, but we can call it a bailout, right? Because they're going to be bailing out companies and people, and okay, stimulus. We can stimulus, whatever it's called, but
find it.
It's money. It's like something trillion at this point, trillions and trillions of dollars that we're going to be spending, right? But they're trying to make it like their little wish list. And I think it was Clyburn who even said, he even said it out loud. Yeah, he said out loud. I don't even know the direct quote, but he was like, this is what we're doing. Like, we have to make sure that we get all of our progressive crap.
Here it is. This is a tremendous opportunity to restructure things to fit our vision.
Yeah.
This is a tremendous opportunity.
It's an opportunity. That's gross.
Oh my God.
It's gross what they're doing. These people are gross, and if there's ever time to drain the swamp, if people are seeing it, this is our opportunity to do that. Please see these people for what they are. Please see them finally for what they are.
It's unbelievable.
They're gross. This is so gross what they're doing. And so we've gone through this twice, and they're like, nah, it's not good enough. I mean, we're all about helping the people, but really we want to get all of our crap in there.
But really we want to talk about airplane emissions.
Oh my God.
Right now, in the state of, in the face of coronavirus, we need to deal with diversity initiatives and airplane emissions.
And like the Green New Deal and crap they tried to shove it. These people are gross.
God.
Okay, so there's that. Nancy Pelosi is like the spearhead of grossness, right? She's the high priestess of grossness. Her daughter tweets out about Rand Paul, who has coronavirus, by the way.
Yeah, he's tested positive. And he's also missing a part of his lung. Okay, so keep that in mind. His neighbor kicked the crap out of him. He had all kinds of busted up ribs and
he has
lung damage.
Because his neighbor has severe TDS.
Yeah, that's literally why he got beat up.
Yeah.
And so out of nowhere, with the news breaking that Rand Paul was, self-quarantining, so far he's asymptomatic, which is great. We want him to stay that way. So he's at home trying to recover. And Nancy Pelosi's daughter tweets out, Rand Paul's neighbor was right. What the heck? And it's still there, you guys. She has no shame about it.
Yeah.
It's still there for the world to see. I can't even believe it.
And this is, I guess I shouldn't be shocked by this. This is the woman that was raised by a woman who's like, I pray for the president.
Oh my God.
I pray for him. No, you don't. You don't do that.
It's still there. It's still there.
Oh, gross.
And I wrote back to it because I was like, wow, you clearly got your character from your mom.
These people they're just despicable.
It's the worst.
They're just
the
insufferable.
Worst
God. And then to think, okay, her daughter excluded, because her daughter is a lawyer and she has her connections because of her mother, right? And she has her wealth because of her mother. But her mother is loaded and has a gated home because of us, right? I mean, she makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year because of us. These people make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year because of us. They're not shut down. Their businesses aren't shut down right now. They're not the ones who are on lockdown, right? I mean, let's face it. And if they are on lockdown, they continue to make money. They will always continue to make money. Always.
Yep.
Because we continue to give it to them.
And they continue to take it.
Yeah.
Willy-nilly.
Always. They will always have that power. They will always have that money because of us. You're welcome.
God.
Yeah, they don't know what it's like to be like a hairdresser right now who has 3 kids to feed and like a single mom who doesn't have work. They don't know what that's like.
So like yesterday, our state got locked down essentially. And there's like this giant executive order that says, here's all the things that you're not allowed to do, and here's all the things that are allowed to stay open or manned in some way. And I don't even, he's going to be really mad. But essentially...
I'm going to be mad. I'm a very friendly person.
Okay, what I don't understand, maybe there's like a legit reason for this. Why are liquor stores considered essential businesses?
Do you want to know the real reason?
Yeah, I really
do. You
do.
want to wait for the show? Or?
No, I'm asking, what possible reason would there be for a liquor store to be an essential...
Who bought into 31 liquor stores last year? We covered this at length on the show.
Okay, but all right. But I'm not talking about just Indiana. I'm assuming that this is a thing everywhere, right? That they are considered an essential business?
The liquor lobby is one of the most powerful lobbies in the entire world.
So it's all about money.
God, that is ridiculous.
Yep. And then
ridiculous.
churches are considered essential too, right? Is that? Cause I think I saw that on the list. Churches are considered essential, so
Yes.
they're allowed to stay open.
I'd
if
like
they
to
want
make a note of how friendly I was when I gave you that answer, by the way.
You were very friendly.
Well, churches, that's because they provide, or ostensibly, they provide charitable services to the community.
Yeah, but we're talking about services.
Services, I thought those, well, you're not allowed to gather in more than groups of 10 anyway, so aren't they doing everything online?
I guess. Well, some of them can, and some of them don't have the capability to do that.
Oh. Well, yeah, I don't know.
But they're still allowed to stay open and kind of be, I guess, business as usual if they want to do that.
There's just no rhyme or
but
reason.
yet daycares are open.
I don't,
and daycares are like,
either.
to me, daycares are like a petri dish of germs. I mean, you got little kids there, snotty, and like I don't understand how that.
I guess the idea is to just minimize people contact to the extent possible, and then they're making these exceptions because like they want nurses and doctors who use daycare to still be able to treat ill people, right?
Okay, but then they've got, nail salons and hair
Yeah.
salons are closed, even though a nail salon and a hair salon may have less than 10 people there at a
Right.
time. So that sucks.
Yeah,
These
like
people-
mine does, right?
yeah.
Like my girl she has just a little suite that she shares with one other person.
But
so the maximum people ever in there are 4.
and they're shutting them down, and they're saying if we see you doing it, we can
we
can
could be
fine
fined.
you.
We could be fined right now.
Yeah.
He was pretty strong man yesterday.
As of tomorrow.
Like, we could
it
be
goes
fined.
into effect tomorrow.
No, we're exempted. Media is exempted.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Well,
But-
we're exempted from. We get to come to work, but I think we're still supposed to maintain a 6-foot distance.
Well, I feel like I'm about 9 feet away from
Well,
so.
We actually talked about trying to do our live.
But
this
I would
morning.
like to see like
really
how we're
far
gonna
apart.
do it. But I mean, what are they gonna do? They're gonna fine us.
I mean, that's the thing.
Are
Are
they
we going to
gonna
get
fine us?
arrested?
Well, then we give the bill to Emmis.
Can I say something positive?
Yes.
Sure.
I have made a new friend out of all this.
Is it the chicken ranch
Is
girl?
it
Nova Lynn.
the Nova
you
Lynn?
have you made?
Rob
You've
is
established
friends.
A relationship.
Rob is friends with a hooker.
She's
Yeah,
not a hooker.
from the chicken ranch.
Well,
in
what
Vegas.
do you call her?
She
She's
is
a
in the
woman
service
of the night.
industry.
She's a courtesan, according to the
Right.
website.
Oh, is that what they call? That's what they call hookers now.
She is wonderful.
In
I'm
what
sure
way?
she is wonderful. I'm sure she's very
I'm
lovely.
learning all about the industry.
Has she offered to send you nudes?
No, I've kept it very professional. Ma.
That is her profession, so
to send you nudes. That's what she's supposed to
actually
do.
from Indianapolis.
No way!
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that
Oh my
why
I didn't. We haven't gotten that far yet. We're still
Oh.
keeping it very. But when this is all over, the quarantine is over, we're gonna get together, and I'm gonna learn all about everything.
Okay. Well, I
Okay.
very much look forward
And
to.
you can report back. And then you
Yeah.
really need to stay 9 feet away from me.
And then for real.
For real, I want you,
gotta
to
stay
I
far
want you to
away.
stay away from me. Yeah, and I'm gonna bring the Lysol. Cause damn. Yeah.
Did you guys hear about the people that ate the fish tank cleaner? Because, first of all, Axios is considered a legit news source now, isn't it? Isn't that like a legit?
Really? Axios?
Well, I mean, I think they're like journalists.
Well,
they
they're-
consider themselves journalists.
Well, they're probably more journalisty than CNN.
But so here's what happened. Like a 60-something-year-old couple in Arizona, they've been hearing about chloroquine and hydrochloroquine being potential treatments for coronavirus. They're experimenting right now, and some
That's the
people have
one.
gotten it.
That's the malaria drug, right?
Yes. And so right now there's a lot of testing about it and excitement about it, right? Because it's promising, and some people who've received it have recovered, and it's great, whatever. So there's been a lot of talk about that in the Trump pressers and all the updates. So yesterday, it's not funny. I'm not making light of this. This is really bad. But this couple saw on a bottle of their fish tank cleaner that it said chloroquine phosphate. And so they decided, oh, there's the word chloroquine. Clearly, this will protect us from the virus. They freaking ate it. Dude died, okay? The wife is in critical care right now. So because they saw the word chloroquine, they didn't pay attention to the phosphate part. Very, very different chemical.
did they even have coronavirus? Did they?
No, I don't think they even had it. They're like almost like they were taking it as a preventative, right? So this is bad. Axios' headline about this, you guys. This is their headline. A man has died after ingesting chloroquine phosphate, one of the anti-malaria drugs that Trump has mentioned in recent days. That is a flat-out lie, because you can't say that that is an anti-malaria drug that Trump has mentioned.
Yeah.
He most certainly has not.
That's not the anti-malaria drug. First of all,
No.
that's not it. No, that's not it.
They're just
There are
saying
different
that.
kinds there are variations of that, and that's not the actual malaria drug. So
You cannot do that.
These people are not journalists.
My God.
These journalists actually do research.
And do you see the blame? Just inherently, they're trying to blame the president for this.
Of course. Well, there's some guy last week, and I don't even know who the guy is, but it's a lawyer. I mean, I say that in air quotes. Because, I don't know, can you get like a law degree with an order of shrimp tacos these days? But this guy is a lawyer, and he's trying to say that Trump is responsible for all coronavirus deaths.
Yeah, because basically Trump is guilty of homicide. That's the case he was trying to make.
What is wrong with these people?
It's just they're batshit.
Okay, so like, is every president in history responsible for every flu death? Was Obama responsible for every H1N1 death? Is that what we're doing now?
You only do it when it's Trump as president.
Oh, it's just Trump
Because
Orange Man bad.
Right.
Orange Man bad.
God,
these people are
out of control.
mental.
It's just out of control in every way. There's so much
just-
out of controlness.
Yeah. I really
Serenity now.
think, I wish that the FDA. I know that we've sort of taken a little bit of the restrictions off of the regulatory procedures that we have in this country. If they could just take some of those restrictions off so we can kind of push through a TDS drug, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
And listen, it's not to say we don't understand the need for regulations. We do. And the reason that they're there is because they're lawyers, right? Because there's so many freaking lawsuit happy people that sue for everything. So there has to be all this regulation. It all is a big fat circle, right?
Yeah, but there's the guy that we work with, Tony Katz, he did find a really great article, and it's from the Dispatch, and it talks about how, and Twitchy has a write-up on it too. Britt Hume shared it. He shared a thread about it. It's a guy that actually did the research on what happened with the testing, and it's not about Trump.
Right.
It's about the FDA and how the FDA is what held it up. The FDA basically was like, "Oh, you guys want to do this testing stuff? Okay, well, you're going to have to fill out this paperwork
In triplicate.
Yeah, because this is what the FDA does. This is what big government does. Big government holds everything up, and they have all this red tape, and it's a bunch of bureaucratic bullcrap. And so they were like, oh, you're going to have to fill out this paperwork. You're going to have to fill out this paperwork. No, wait, you're going to have to fill out this paperwork. And they held it up for weeks and weeks and weeks, and that's why we're so far behind. Whereas South Korea, who doesn't have the regulatory processes that we do, they were able to do testing like that. That's why the testing has been held up in this country, is because of our big government crap. That's why, because of the FDA. And if you work in pharma, or if you've ever worked in pharma, you understand the FDA does that. That's why our pharma process is so long. That's why it takes so long to get a drug through. I'm not saying it's a bad thing necessarily, but I'm also not saying it's a good thing. People wonder why their drugs are so expensive, because every time you fill out any sort of paperwork with the FDA also costs money to that pharma company.
Yeah. Oh, you have to fill out this form in triplicate and send us a fee for the form for $100,000.
Exactly. I mean, this is the thing. This is what they do. And people like Bernie Sanders. they think that pharma's evil, but meantime they're filling.
What you got? Everybody keeps saying that I made a typo. What was it? Did it change biatch to Beyonce? Because that's what it did initially.
It probably did. You probably did.
Because I was trying to call Pelosi's daughter a biatch.
Yeah.
And at first it changed it to Beyonce. Yeah. I don't know if that's what the typo is that everybody's saying, but.
So anyways, well, there's a great write-up on the FDA and how they've held all this up, or held the testing up. It's in the Dispatch or something. There's some dude that he actually did the journalisming.
Yeah.
And he figured it out. He did the research, where a lot of people have not done that. They're just speculating. Oh my God, the testing. It must have been Trump's fault because he's orange. So orange, you guys. My God.
Oh, speaking of media and how much they completely suck, there was a New York Times article that literally says, the headline reads, "The coronavirus bailout stalled, and it's Mitch McConnell's fault."
My God.
New York Times. That's what it says at the New York Times.
Yeah, the New York Times is
just
trash.
insanity.
The Washington Post is trash. The New York Times is trash.
They're all
just
garbage.
trash.
Just garbage,
I
garbage,
swear.
garbage.
And how can you not see that these people, the liberals, are trying to shove all this crap, this pork, basically, into this stimulus? That's what they're doing. It's gross.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
Horrendous.
gross. Never waste a crisis, right? Isn't that what it is? Never waste a crisis.
Never let a crisis go to waste.
That's what it is.
Rahm Emanuel.
Yeah.
Circa, what was
Well,
that, 2009?
gross.
2000, I can't remember. Anyway.
Isn't Is there
What
anything else fun that we're talking about today?
Well, we're talking about all kinds of fun things like dudes licking toilets, or toiletries rather, in a Missouri grocery store. Have you guys seen that video? This is the new thing that now young people are doing. Is they're going to a shelf of products, toiletries that everybody needs, and just like licking across the entire batch of them, because that's helpful to humanity. So that's happening. We got a bunch of those spring breakers that everybody was, shaming and mad at, rightly so, that are coming back and testing positive for the virus. Raise your hand if you're surprised by that.
Yeah, not surprised.
Oh, and then we have the guide to how to have pandemic sex.
Oh.
We're hopefully going to get that today.
So excited about that.
And then
Really
that is
that's the one in New York. Like
yes.
they're telling people in New York how to have sex.
the New York City Health Department, very handy guide that they've released.
Yeah.
By the way, did you hear that in New York City, pregnant women aren't allowed to have their husbands in the delivery room when they're giving birth now? Can you imagine how awful that is?
There are probably a lot of happy dudes though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There are probably a lot of dudes that are like,
I think dudes want to be there.
really? Do they though? I mean, I think in reality there are probably a lot of dudes that do, but like there's probably a percentage of dudes that are like, thank you. Because that a lot of dudes are like up at like the non-business end, that they don't want to be at the business end because they're like, they want to go back there someday. You know what I'm saying? They want to go back to
It's
that.
kind of like what Robbie Williams said when he watched the birth of his first child. He
Yeah.
said, what was that like? What was it like to watch? And he was like, well, I mean, I was watching, the business end of the birth, and it was like watching my favorite pub burn to the ground.
Right? This is the thing. You watch it burn to the ground, and then they have to go back there one day.
Right.
I mean, it has to rebuild,
And it'll be stronger and better and faster.
Sometimes
will rebuild
it
him.
is. Sometimes guys just go, can you put an extra stitch or two in there? Maybe?
We're
This is
also
the
going to be
thing.
talking about a couple with a
Ugh.
53-year
Whoa.
age gap. 50. I'm going to show you their picture. Can you make sure I'm showing it right?
I'm sorry. It's just, I just don't
Are
want to.
you seeing that?
It's fine. Listen, love is great. I love love. I think love is great. I just don't want to see that.
76-year-old woman and a 22-year-old husband.
And I read the article on them, and it's
They're
sweet.
very much in love.
Because she's like, I didn't have affection in my first marriage. He was not lovey-dovey. And this one, he's all over me.
Yeah, he makes TikTok videos to her where he just lip syncs love songs and then makes out with her.
I mean,
and this is what they do.
it's sweet that she has that, but I just think I don't want to see it. I just don't want to. I don't want to see any of that.
That's too much of an age difference. I'm sorry. And then there was a picture too. I didn't include it.
And
in
he had
our
to tell
layout.
his grandma about it.
Well, that's what I was
his
going to say.
grandma's
There was
still
a
alive.
picture of him and his grandmother, his actual grandmother, and she looks younger than his wife. I mean, I have to believe that that's a fetish, right? Like, that's a fetish. That's not
he's like
normal.
He's a total granny chaser, you guys. He's a granny chaser. I mean,
listen, love is grand, but 53 years? I mean, come on. That's ew.
Yeah. And
Anyway.
she's like high-fiving all of her granny friends. Hey, Myrtle! Woo! Yeah!
Ew.
She's doing that.
Ew.
Mhm.
Anyway, we should probably go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
You guys.
to Jude for the straws
Hey,
and to
Jude.
Ashley for the chips.
Yes.
That's so great. We're gonna eat them.
We're gonna listen. Everybody's getting fat in quarantine, and I played getting it all plump on those chips.
That's a great question. Somebody was like, "Is that woman rich?" I don't think so. I don't think she's like
What woman?
usually-
What are you talking about?
The granny.
The granny? I don't. No,
I
no,
think
she's
they're
not
very
rich.
average couple.
He actually is in love with her.
Like legitimately
Like
in
he
love.
just is attracted.
And by the
to
way, they
older
met.
women.
They met at her son's funeral. So I mean,
Yeah, and he says that he's always been attracted to older ladies. Like he's just always had a thing for it. He probably has there's something there. I'm sure that a psychologist could figure that one out. We're not psychologists.
No.
We're just kind of like, I mean,
they're probably going to get a reality show, so I'm sure we'll learn
Yeah.
a lot more about them.
next up on TLC. That's gonna be a thing.
It's going to be a thing.
It's gonna
All
be
right.
a thing, you guys. All
We
right,
gotta go.
Bring it in, everybody. everybody. It's Tuesday. What is it, day 9?
Day 9.
Day 9.
We can do this.
Of the apocalypse.
We got it.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.